the playoff experience like? What do you remember it being like in 2010 from the time you knew that you got in to the feeling after the game when you lost?
It was kind of rough because that year we ended the season with a 4-game. I think we lost 3 out of the last 4 games we played. So it was kind of I don't want to say we backed into the playoffs, but we kind of did. So when we got into the playoffs, we got a first-round bye. So the first week we just practiced going in, not knowing who we were going to play. When we found out we were going to play Wofford, it was kind of a relief because we knew who we were going to play. So I think the biggest experience for me was actually experiencing how the playoff system works and how everything goes on and how big of a deal it is to get into the playoffs. Because once you get into the playoffs, nothing really matters. It's how well you play on that specific day. But unfortunately, we didn't play too well in 2010.
Would it be fair to say or to ask, are they better prepared, do you think, for the playoff situation now than they were that first year when they went? I know the coaching staffs were different. There's a handful of guys still from that team that were here. Does that relate at all?
I don't think it relates as much because between this year and 2010, it's 2 different situations. 2010, we had a first-round bye, and we had to go at it a different way. But this year, we played in the first round. We start as soon as the playoffs start. So I think there's some similarities, but it's with a whole new coaching staff. Everybody's going to handle it differently.
How did you tell your brother?
Yeah, he called me after the selection. Said it's going to be a big game. Family doesn't know who they're going to cheer for, but it's going to be a great one.
Were you guys kind of anticipating it? I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk that there was a chance that us being close and both being on the bubble getting in. Were y'all kind of anticipating maybe getting to see each other in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though, cause like all season I was like, this year he had senior night that Saturday before, so I'm like, man, I wonder if I ever get to play him. I've never played against him, and like I had a dream that I'm gonna get to play Kale one time. So we just seen it, came on the screen. He called me, said, "Hey man, you gonna be ready?" I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be ready."
So even growing up, you never played against him?
Never played against him. And it's like growing up, you always have that hero basketball or football player you always watch, like Michael Jordan. I want to play Michael Jordan one day. But growing up, we're so close. He's like my hero. So it's going to be like playing against your hero in a game, but the game has more stakes to it than just a regular game.
Who your parents going to be cheering for?
Oh, man. They're going to try to cheer for both of us. I hope they just don't get tired of cheering for both of us.
So one of them's going to dress one color, the other one is
yeah. Yeah, they might get a shirt, one side blue, the other side red.
Coach, you've talked a lot this year, and we've heard you say it a lot, is how we're treating this week like a playoff game.
Right.
How does that translate into this weekend, and how you set that up?
You know, for our guys, I don't know if they quite understood what I meant by how much emotions you have to invest each week to be who we want to be, you know. And I think, and I tell them all the time, if we're not bigger and stronger than everybody we play, that's what it's going to take. You know, it's going to take us really selling out every single win. That's not easy to do. I mean, I think you can be physically exhausted and then you can be emotionally exhausted. And we may have been a little bit of that toward the end of the game last week, even though I don't really think that's an excuse. You know, so my point is, I think we've played in a playoff atmosphere every week. You know, to me, it's been a do or die type deal. Probably saw a little bit last week of them not truly believing we had a chance. You know, I saw that, I noticed that. Yet we came out, we had a really good start and played good. Probably offensively, probably played really well. But I think they've been in that scenario. I think they've been in that scenario for a few weeks. And the good news now, it's like I tell them, they ain't gonna be getting up next week if you don't do it. So, we should have been accustomed to it. I think Samford probably was a little accustomed to it too. And to me, it's really just who's gonna play well this Saturday. That's all that it comes down to now.
Cale, do you have any impressions on the Trust kid that they have? He catches, he's running back, he's a special teams guy. But from a defensive standpoint, what impressions you have of him as a weapon that they have on their team? Can you speak to that? Fabian?
Number 2.
Number 2? Oh, I haven't really seen anything on him yet. I haven't had a chance to get online and watch any film.
We're just getting started.
Coach, do you practice, no classes this week, but do you treat it just like you normally would?
We're doing 3-a-days this week. No, you know, I think, they didn't know that, did they? You know, we want to, you know, I really believe, you know, this from all those years from being in the playoffs, I think you learn real quickly. It's who wants to keep playing. I know that sounds funny, like everybody thinks that everybody wants to keep playing, but I mean, I think there's a definite element of physically tired, emotionally tired, and, you know, my dad, you know, old school, used to coach football and basketball. And, you know, that was one of the things we always talked about with basketball teams. It was really just counted when you got to the tournament. And I think playing all those years in the playoffs, one of the things we learned, you know, I really learned this at Prattville, I wanted them to want to keep playing. And yet you've had to work so hard to get in there. And so we talked a lot about this yesterday. We talked about that. We want to make it fun as we can make it, but it still goes back to work. But we'll be pretty much the same routine. I mean, we're going to get together tonight, watch some Monday Night Football. Well, they will. I'll be up here working, but you know, we might go see a movie or something. You know, we want to make it fun. It's a big family. They're away from their families this week, but so is a lot of other college football players across the country. It's just that's part of it. So we'll be pretty normal.
You'll do anything special Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we'll have a Thanksgiving lunch here, and then that afternoon, you know, if guys are within driving distance, we'll probably let them go. You know, that's our plan. We want them to be able to at least see their family. You know, but we got some guys. You know, we got guys from Missouri, we got guys from Florida. It's, you know, they may be with a coach that evening. You know, I think Coach Copeland's going to eat some lunch with us, so he's batching it this week. So we got, you know, we're taking care of everybody. But
Hamish is not playing.
no, I think Hamish is going to be stuck here.
Their Thanksgiving is at a different, I think they're like one of those, they have Thanksgiving, but it's at a different time of year than ours is in November.
Just talk about the league getting 3 teams in for the first time ever, and because you talked about how much better the league's got.
Well, we talked 2 things today, and I think that's really important to talk about. One, I want to go back to the Samford deal because I know it's going to come up. It's just like our guys, you know, Jack State's had this success against Samford. It's not the same Samford team. You know, it's new coaches, it's new players, they're recruiting a different way, and we think our league is different. You know, I've said it since the day I've been in here, what they look like, how they play. You know, I didn't see any of these things. I know this history, but you know, we're all new. It's different. It's just a different time in our league, and I think that was seen in how we played outside our league, and I think that was reflective in the number of teams we got in it. And you know, now we just got to go out and do our part to, you know, to truly get that respect. But I think that's what we earned. I don't think anything was given to us. I think we earned 3 teams this year.